Shalom, shalom, all praises to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Shalom, Labakariam, Shah Yasharala, that is peace to the hopeful elect of Israel. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Double honors to you. Shalom to you, sincere brothers and sisters, man. All right, I want to just read on this little article that I came across, and it's talking about the Northern Kingdom, the Latin tribes of Yasharala, and how we fit the curses, of Deuteronomy chapter 28, perfect. And there's a lot of bug-out jakes out there that go against the doctrine and go against the Latin tribes being part of the Northern Kingdom, being Israelites. And a lot of you jakes are going to find your death, and you're going to be judged for hating your brethren. You're going to be you're going to be found guilty in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. That's right. You're going to be found guilty in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushua for hating and disliking and having that envy and hate towards your brethren, the Latin tribes. Because you got a lot of so-called Israelites that claim themselves to be from the tribe of Judah. And they claim that all 12 tribes are black today. You know what I'm saying? That you got to be dark-skinned with woolly hair and all that. And that goes against biblical scriptures. That goes against prophecies. That's just to show you that these jakes, the Lord is not dealing with these jakes. They're blinded by their own conceit. They're blinded by their own pride. And soon, when Yahweh Shem Yahushua returns, he's going to bring judgment to these men, and women. So here I got an image, right? And this goes into history. It's called The Brutal History of Anti-Latino Discrimination in America. Now, I was reading a little bit of this stuff. I'm not going to read a lot. I'm just hit the points, okay? And here, the Mexican-American War, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, which marked the war's end, granted 55% of Mexican territory to the United States. Now, when you read down at the bottom, it goes, this welcomes news to American employers, to the Southern Pacific Railroad. So a lot of Latinos of the tribe of Issachar, after the Mexican-American War, some were granted jobs, employment. They also built railroads as well. And that goes into the scriptures, you shall serve thy enemies. You know what I'm saying? And the scripture goes in saying your enemy should be the head, you shall be the tail. Now, down here, anti-Latino sentiment grew along with immigration. Though Latinos were critical to the U.S. economy and often were American citizens, everything from their language to the color of their skin to their countries of origin could be used as a pretext for discrimination. Anglo-Americans treated them as foreign underclass and perpetuated stereotypes that those who speak Spanish were lazy, stupid, and underserving. In some cases, that prejudice turned fatal. Mob violence terrorized Latinos. Mob violence against Spanish-speaking people was common in the 19th and 20th century. According to historian William D. Carrigan, they estimated that the number of Latinos killed by mobs reached well into the thousands, though definite documentation only exists for 547 cases. Now, the violence began during the California Gold Rush, and it goes into, in 1851, for example, a mob of vigilantes accused Josefa Segovia of murdering a white man. After a fake trial, they marched her through the streets and lynch her. And this is one of our women, Over 2,000 men gathered to watch, shouting racial slurs. Others were attacked on suspicion of fraternizing with white women or insulting white people. Now listen to this, and I'm going to end it here. Listen to this, brothers. We're going to go to the scriptures. Even children became the victims of this violence, In 1911, a mob of over 1,000 people hanged 14-year-old boy Antonio Gomez after he was arrested for murder. Rather than let him serve time in jail, townspeople lynched him and dragged his body through the streets of Thornville, Texas. These and other horrific acts of cruelty lasted into the 1920s, when the Mexican government began pressuring the United States to stop the violence. But just to, and this is a lot of history here, and it goes into, you know, the history of the Latin tribes. And here's an image right here of her being lynched. It was a woman being lynched, and she was accused of murdering a white person. And they dragged her and lynched her, and she was a woman. Even the men were lynched. You know what I'm saying? Young men were lynched. Young men were lynched. Here's another image, and this image I have also. I bring out when I'm holding camp, you know, in the highways and byways. And these are our Latin brothers being lynched by Esau Edom, you know? Okay? And go more images of our Latin brothers, Israelites, from the tribe of Issachar, Zebulun, even Ephraim, the northern kingdom being lynched. These are the curses that came upon our people, man. You know? So let's go into the scriptures. Deuteronomy 28, I'm going to start at verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. And we are here in captivity. The so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, Native Americans here in Babylon the Great. We are slaves. We are in captivity. And all thy trees and fruit of thy land shall the locust consume. Verse 43, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. Verse 44, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Verse 45, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. Verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So these curses are a perpetual curse to this day. This is why you got the story with Jose Toledo, the teenager Hispanic boy that just got killed by the Edomite devil, the police. And then you got Jake's getting killed left and right by these Roman centurion soldiers. Ultimately, it's judgment from Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. But that's just to show you that even today, 2021, these curses are still upon Jake. Jake don't understand that, okay? Because they don't understand that they are the Hebrew Israelites of the Bible. But when they come in, you know, so let's read a little bit more of these curses. Verse 47, Deuteronomy 28, verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he will put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he hath destroyed thee. And mainly Judah, the tribe of the southern kingdom, were enslaved and horrifically destroyed as a people. They will put that yoke around their heads too. And before that, the Latin tribes will put chains on them and ship. You got the history of the conquistadors that came here and destroyed our people. The Mayans, the Incas, the Aztecs, the Taínos, the Arawaks, you know. You got all these Ferdinand and Herman Cortez and Christopher Wicked Columbus. All of them destroyed the northern kingdom, enslaved them, destroyed them as a people. And these are the curses here. Verse 49, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle, as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue they shall not understand. And that is Babylon the Great also, man. You know, America. Now this is the point, verse 50, because we understand that even the young kids were being killed, man. When you read the article, I'm going to go back to it, okay? Even children, look right here, even children became the victims of this violence in 1911. A mob over 1,000 people hanged a 14-year-old boy, Antonio Gomez, after he was arrested for murder. Rather than let him serve time in jail, the town people, you Edomites, you wicked devils, that's what you're going to pay. Lynch him and drag his body through the streets of Thorvale, Texas, man. Okay? This is verse 50. A nation of fair countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. And that's what Esau Edom did. He did not show favor to the young. Even children became the victims of this violence, man. To prove to you that the Latin tribes, you know what I'm saying? All the children of Israel. And a lot of you jakes spewing that garbage of the 12 tribes being all black today, you're going to get heavy judgment coming to you for hating your brethren. The scripture talks about loving your neighbor. And if you don't love your brother, you're an anti-Messiah. All you niggas that go against the chart, the 12 tribe chart, you anti-Messiah. And the Lord is going to bring judgment to you. So, man, I hope this was edifying. All praises to Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Rakakadash, Shalom Labakarium, Shah Yasharala. Peace to the whole elect, man, and shalom to you, brothers.